Getting adjusted backstage. When I was asked to do this talk, I thought, oh God, a mount stage again? I just did this not too long ago. And I started to go back through the process in which I went through for my valedictorian speech, and I came across this picture. And when it was first taken, we were doing photos, our family photos and grad photos in Eskasoni. And the photographer at the time said, stand in front of this wigwam and look to the sky. And I thought, oh God. Okay, I'll be the modern Indian that you want me to be for a second. But then when I looked back at the picture, and then I thought about today's topic of embracing your possibilities, I saw the richness in my history, in my story, and who I am and where I came from. And my story is this. I grew up in Massachusetts, another city tied to Halifax. And I grew up in with an Italian mother and a Mi'kmaq father. And right there, the intermingling of those two cultures, you have to be open to possibilities. I had very bossy women in my life, and they made sure that I went on the path and became an overachiever as I was introduced. My second master's. I think I'm done for a while. I hope. So when I look back at this picture, I saw the richness of who I am and where I came from. But I also saw the journey in which my family and my community had gone through. You see, when our son was about 22 months old, we have 3 sons, and our youngest one was diagnosed with autism. And right there, when they say that word, autism, ASD, Asperger's, autistic, whatever you want to call it, right there, the future is really uncertain. So for me, it was opening up to that uncertainty and that not knowing of what's going to happen and what our future will be. But in surrendering to that, it's led to endless possibilities, not just with him, but with our family. So, as you know, I have a number of degrees, 4. Like I said, I think I'm done for a while, I hope. And I've read countless journals, articles, even written a couple of journals now. And any one person can read about autism, but let me tell you, it's a whole nother ball of wax to live it. For me, being a mother, being an educator, being an administrator, being an advocate, it all comes from a place of sincerity. For me, it comes from honoring my child, but not only honoring my child, but honoring all of those around me. So this is our son, Colton. And Colton is Mi'kmaq. And when he was diagnosed, the experts told us at the time that it would probably be better or in our best interests to speak English. Well, at the time, our middle son, Lennox, was going through immersion. So there went our bilingual home, because we had to learn all the skills of how to help Colton. And as a teacher, you learn all sorts of tricks of the trade, and this was just adding to my toolbox. And once I learned the tools and the techniques that helped our child, I started to take a step back and say, something is not right here. And what wasn't right here was that I wasn't seeing him. I wasn't seeing him, and in turn, I probably wasn't seeing some of my students in my classroom. I wasn't seeing a very important thing, and that's what I refer to as the light within. Every child that I had the privilege of teaching over 10 years had a light, had a gift, and I probably missed it. I probably saw some of them, but I probably missed others. And so I started to take a look back and think, can he speak Mi'kmaq? I didn't know. And so we started to learn all the techniques and all the things that would help him, and slowly over time, he has learned to speak. And despite what the experts said, although they were well-intentioned, the reason that they said it was they didn't have anyone to speak Mi'kmaq to him. But I could, and his father could, and his grandparents could. And it was through their tenacity and their gift of language that I had grown up a part of, away from, that I started to see that light within him, that gift. Autism's been an amazing journey for our family. We've gone to Disney about 10 times. I can now speak in about 50 characters, Disney characters, and someday when I retire, maybe I'll retire at Disney, along with Colton. And someday maybe he'll be there too. He'll be that passionate person, that, Disney greeter that will be in character and igniting some other child's passion for Disney. But that's Colton. And our family has grown immensely. We've learned never-ending patience. We've learned amazing tolerance. We've learned umpteen characters in Disney. So for me, it's all about taking that moment to see the light within a child, to see that gift, to see that opportunity for them to shine their voice. For him, after all of the training that we went through, the minute I put technology into his hand, he found his voice. And now, through the assistance of apps in our language, and they're growing every day, we now have 6, and probably by next week there'll be 8, and so on and so forth. The possibilities are endless in terms of how he is going to communicate and how he's going to share his light to the world. In closing, I just would like to say that there's no way that I could change the way my child sees the world, but I hope to be a light for others to change their perspective on him. Walalio.